Jim, nice to see you. Mate, I'm so excited. Welcome back. Listen, if you're enjoying the show, it's a gentle reminder to please share the love. Leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast app you're listening on. It really helps us and it really helps our listeners to find the show. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a like because we're trying to get to 200 likes. That's the target on this video. 200 likes. You can help us. You're our friends. We're all friends. Happy days. Jim, I'm so buzzing for today. I don't know if that is coming through.
Yeah, you are like giddy in a good way.
I am so excited, right? Inter Milan result got me really, really excited because that's the Arsenal I was worried we'd lost. I know it's in Europe. I know it's different in the Premier League. I know that teams having a low block in the Premier League. They don't do that in Europe. But I am buzzing, man. Are you not buzzing?
That was all of my points I was going to make.
Damn,
so now
sorry. Okay, and that's it this week. Thanks so much.
No, I'm feeling really good about that display because I think it's easy to take it for granted, isn't it? That especially given the stage of the Champions League that we're in and how we've got used to us being really good and really efficient in it, it's like that is a convincing away win at the San Siro. If you're not into that, you're done, aren't you? You're done with this sport. Like if you can't get excited about that, then there's something missing because that is brilliant in the circumstances or in any set of circumstances. So yeah, I'm excited about where the team can go from here. I'm slightly trepidatious about Sunday because I can never remove that kind of... there are two Arsenal fans on my shoulder. Okay. Obviously, one of them's really positive, one of them's really negative. Yeah. And they do have a consistent dialogue going on into either one of my ears. So you always look at that and try and sort of like... it's like you prepare for the worst, don't you? You're sort of looking at crisis management. Oh, this could go wrong and that could go wrong. But generally speaking... I think since, having Saliba and Gabriel back, even though we've conceded some goals that I think we shouldn't have done, that feeling of security is coming back a bit, and that is adding to my general kind of vibe.
My 2026 view of Arsenal is different to like anything sort of up to sort of 2023. Where you sort of had 10 years of going, oh, it's going to go wrong. It'll go wrong again. You know what we're like. I've got United. It's all just starting to look good. Then it's all going to crumble underneath us. I don't feel like that this season. No. Right? I feel really, really excited. And I think we're going to reflect on the Inter Milan game as we go through talking and previewing the Man United game.
It's actually just International.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Do you not say Inter Milan anymore?
No, you don't. No.
When did that change?
I don't think they've ever been that. I think that's always been a colloquial thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. I'm so sorry just to be getting that wrong for so many years. Internazionale. Right. Arsenal versus Manchester United is Sunday. It's 4:30. Super Sunday, right? Let's rock. Super Sunday. We host Man United fresh off the back of our 3-1 win at San Siro. They did beat us, which was Michael Carrick as the interim manager.
Yes.
And I'm slightly worried. I didn't realise this, but as you can see, I'm wearing some more Arsenal merch. I'm always wearing Arsenal merch, which we're going to talk about Arsenal merch later on. But underneath, I do have the shirt that we were wearing when we lost that game.
That is...
So is that bad...
I think it's bold. I like it.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's confident.
I've got Kieran Tierney on the back of it. I always get the most random players.
Yeah, that's nice though.
I like
because that kind of that dates it in a positive way, doesn't it? When you're looking back through what I presume is like a whole floor of your house.
I know. Well, this is why I had to become part of an Arsenal podcast. So there was a reason to wear it all and to make it tax deductible. Listen, I'm excited, right? I know they beat Man City last week, but I'm feeling fairly confident. Listen. As I mentioned, Michael Carrick, they beat us 3-2. Do you remember much about that game?
Yeah, I watched the highlights of it earlier, and I remember the mad Emile Smith-Rowe goal where I think Fred stepped on David De Gea's foot and David De Gea went down with a sort of, in air quotes, injury. Yeah. But Smith-Rowe, I don't think had seen it, had put the ball in the net by then because the referee blew the whistle after it had gone in, and I think he might have been intending to blow to check that De Gea was okay. It was just a goal by the letter of the law. So it was. I don't think I've ever seen that in football before. Then obviously we went on to lose the game to a Ronaldo penalty. Odegaard scored a great goal as well.
Odegaard scored a great goal and then gave away the penalty.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The 3-2. And it was interesting watching that Odegaard goal because I was like, oh yeah, that Odegaard. And I know he scored like once in the Premier League this season. I really want to see that Odegaard that contributes more with goals.
Yes.
And I think he's going to start this week. And Eze was really great in the San Siro game, but Odegaard's the captain. He was going to be starting in that 10 position. But I feel like we're missing those goals from him.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And I think the thing that's slightly confusing about it, isn't it? Is that there are flashes of that Odegaard. Maybe not so much with his shooting boots. The goal he scored against Brighton was sort of classic Odegaard, wasn't it? I feel like he's maybe been shooting less. I think that was kind of typical of him when he first arrived, wasn't it? He would rarely shoot unless he was really confident that he was kind of the favourite to score. And I think maybe a little bit of that has come back. And it's so noticeable how much Eza shoots and what a difference it makes, isn't it? And I think actually this is a massive game for Odegaard in particular because this is really, in theory, a terrible time to be playing Man United because they're fresh. Yep. They've got players back from AFCON. Kobe Mainoo's back in the team and it has made their midfield really, really balanced. And they are off the back of a really, really good confidence-enhancing victory against Man City. And it's tempting to look at how they played in that game and look at the fact that they won 2-0, only gave up one shot on target, and they had 3 disallowed goals, but they're all really, really tight. Yep. So it's tempting to look at that and think, oh, they must have besieged Man City. They must have been all over them. But that wasn't the case at all. They had 32% possession, and their strength at the moment, and it is a sort of kind of the United of old kind of strength is
Manchester United.
Exactly. Yeah. It is the transition, isn't it? And they were devastating with that. So I think they're going to play in exactly the same way. Because it makes sense as an away team to do that, to just look to hit us on the break and look to just break quickly, use their freshness to kind of double up on us as much as they can and press us when they need to. So not giving the ball away is really, really key. And Odegaard has a real talent for those eye-of-the-needle passes, doesn't he? And the payoff of that is that because he's so good at them, you allow him to get a few of them wrong and give the ball away like that. But this team are really, really hot on that. So I think he has a really, really crucial role to play.
Are you concerned about it? Because I don't think I'm concerned about it because I feel like Man City aren't set up for counter-attacking teams in the same way that we are. Like we are set up for that. Every single game we're ready for a counter-attacking team. And I imagine that as much as Dorgu was pushed right up on the left against Man City, and he's such a great outlet for them, well, I don't think they're going to be able to do that against Arsenal because I think we'll be pushing him back, which will then shift Luke Shaw across, and then it will be a back 5 for Man United. And I think there'll be a lot of traffic jams. I think there'll be a lot of the stuff we're used to when we're watching Arsenal in the Premier League is teams with a mid to low block. I don't think United are going to be able to play the same way. And I hope that they are going in with that same attitude because our midfield will absolutely overrun them, apart from Bruno Fernandes, who I do think is, if not one of the best midfielders in the Premier League.
He's phenomenal, and he doesn't get the I don't think he gets the credit for that.
He doesn't, because he's a bit of a whinging rat.
Exactly.
He's unbelievable, and I think he's the key if they're going to get anything against us.
Yeah, I think so, because he's so good at in those exact moments, isn't he? He can spray a pass from anywhere. He can score free kicks. He's absolutely the danger man, but they'll be aware of that. And I think you're right. I think we'll see a lot of stodge. I think we will deliberately clog it up against them if we need to kind of win the ball back. And I expect us to be kind of camped in their half quite a lot for big periods of the game. That's so often how it goes at home. But I do think it's, I think this might have to be a tight one, I mean, it's not like we've smashed Man United 4 or 5-0 in the past very often, is it? It's not like this happened, but you look at this Man United team and you're at home and you're top of the league and you think we should win this comfortably, but we haven't won a lot of games comfortably.
No. And interestingly, I think as much as United fans are going to be there in that away end being all loud and annoying, going like, we should be attacking them, we should be attacking Arsenal, we're up against them, we're as good as them. Like that's not how it's going to be, because I'm sure Michael Carrick and all the people behind the scenes at United are going, if we can come away with a point here, that's happy days.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how they'll set up. I wonder though, interestingly with the Internazionale game, is that we committed slightly more, which left us a little bit more open, which meant we had Myles Lewis-Skelly pushing up into those positions, which also meant that Timber back on the right, lovely to see. He could push up, which left us a little bit more open. I think we conceded something like 1.3 XG against Internazionale. So if what we didn't do against Forest is let that handbrake off, and I've always sort of argued going, well, you can't. It's not about letting the handbrake off. Just teams just set up. But maybe you can let the handbrake off. Would you do that against Man United?
I think if you absolutely settle into the pattern of a game where it looks like actually they are happy to play for a draw, which we've seen them do before at the Emirates, then I think you back your defenders, right? Which is essentially kind of a version of what you're saying, isn't it? And I do think we can do that more often sometimes. I think Arteta can be very, very cautious in terms of, kind of being frightened to give up space in a way that actually limits the space that we ourselves have to work in. And I think the Forest game was a great example of that, wasn't it? The patterns were quite predictable by the end. But I think there will be a bespoke plan for this in a way that I think there maybe hasn't been time for there to be in some of the previous games, given how just the volume of them.
Yes. Well, do you know, talking about space, I want to pick up what you're saying there. Have you noticed how much space Saliba has had more in these last few games? Because what tends to happen is all those players are pushing up, and then they're taken up with whoever's in that 10 position, if it's Odegaard, if it's Eze, or, Zubimendi has so much of the ball, people are drawn to him. That often leaves Saliba on that right-hand side quite a bit of space. But I feel like he loses confidence when he gets into that area, and he's so good. He's such a good passer. I wonder if he could be a little bit more of an attacking key instead of pushing out to Saka, like maybe go a little bit more centrally.
Yeah, because he's been roaming a lot, hasn't he? In a way that's kind of slightly unusual for him. Do you remember against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup? He had that shot from the edge of the box.
I think you pointed it out in the group,
It's just fantastic. I think he either hit the bar or nearly hit the bar. It was a good save from Sanchez, rarely on that evening. It feels like a deliberate shift, doesn't it? That him and Timber are actually kind of linking up there. Perhaps it's, again, as you suggest, is about freeing up that space for Saka to do more work in, because obviously we know every single game he gets doubled or tripled up on, so maybe it's a way to try and crack that code.
Which he will be, but I want to talk a little bit about Saka, because I think there's been some, I don't think it's unfair criticism that he's not hitting the heights that he's used to hitting and that we're used to seeing, but I thought that Inter-game, Saka was bang on it.
Yeah.
And interestingly, if you look at a lot of his passes, they're not all down that right-hand side, which we've been a little bit guilty of the last 3 games. I think it's been like 45% we've been on that right-hand side, where most of the season we've been managing to push it out to Trossard or Martinelli, whoever's out there. But that's because Calafiori was there. So Calafiori can come around the left-hand side and use his left foot. So if we do play Myles Lewis-Skelly, maybe we'll have more chance of using that left-hand side.
Yeah. Do you think he'll start, Myles?
No.
No?
But I want him to.
Yeah, I think because he's quite cautious and because looking at the previous performance, not just the result, and also the threat of Amad Diallo, I reckon it'll be Timber again,
Yeah.
Because I think it's more secure, isn't it? But I completely agree with you that we lose that edge on the left-hand side because of that reason. This would be such a Calafiori game, wouldn't it?
Oh, my God.
I'm really sad that he in particular is not available for that. I thought I watched some of Miles' highlights back again from the Inter game, and he had some really, really good moments. Like, he's either really tidy or really messy.
Yeah.
He's like someone who is fundamentally a tidy person, but he's also a teenager. So his room is going to be a state every now and then.
And not notice the mess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, I'm doing all right.
Background mess.
Did you see his interview after the game? Where he was holding the microphone.
Yes.
Like basically like right on his forehead. And even Theo was like, can I help you a little bit? Just bring that microphone down. Like that. But again.
Lovely Theo.
But even again, even in his mic technique is fine, but it's a little bit messy.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, those areas will come out of his game. But this would be a real show of faith in him, actually, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If he's
I wouldn't be surprised if he starts him. But I know Ben White offers so much on that right-hand side. So he's just like, well, look, Ben White's great on the right and he was rested. I know he came on for like sort of 20 minutes. So we know that Timber can play on the left. I don't think Timber's very happy there.
No.
But unfortunately, whilst Calafiori's injured and he gives us a little bit more security. Can I move on? Because I want to talk a little bit about Viktor Gyökeres, all right? There's been so much talk about him, Gyökeres reservations, right? There's been so much talk about him. I was quite pleased to see him rested or even, dare I say it, dropped against Inter Milan, and Jesus played fantastically, scored 2 goals. Viktor Gyökeres comes in, smashes it against Saka, scores one of the goals of the season.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And I think it creates a really interesting conundrum for Sunday, doesn't it? Because I think the only reason that you wouldn't start Gabriel Jesus after that performance would be if you don't deem him fit enough to start 2 games of that intensity in a week. Because otherwise, there's no kind of cause to not start him, particularly when Gyökeres has used the space against tired legs late in the game to have an impact on it. So that's what we've been crying out for from Gyökeres, isn't it? For him essentially to just get a clear shot and to see what he can do in that situation. And obviously he skied one slightly after that, probably because he's still so full of adrenaline. But
because he hammers the ball,
nailed it, absolutely smashed it. So yeah, I think. Lisandro Martinez, who we ourselves were looking at very closely for a long time, the butcher, and Harry Maguire are seasoned Premier League operators. I know that Martinez is just back from an injury. I can't imagine they're going to be like blowing out their arses at 70 minutes. So it might not work in exactly the same way. But for me, that is the pattern that I would take. And I think it's a challenge to Gyökeres, isn't it? It's like, okay, we're going to use you in a slightly different way. In theory, the game will have more space in it. The team will be kind of flowing by then. So if you can come into this situation, make the right runs, make yourself available, make an impact, maybe this is something we can use to kind of build up your confidence. So it's all upside to me to starting Jesus and bringing Gyökeres on.
Well, you asked me about Myles Lewis-Skelly. Do you think that he will start Viktor Gyökeres?
Part of me thinks he will, in terms of managing Jesus' load.
Okay.
I think if he does start Gyökeres, that will be the only reason.
I think he'll start Gyökeres, and that worries me because if you look at the way Martinez and Maguire handled Haaland, I feel like Gyökeres is going to be more like Haaland than Jesus is.
Yes.
And so I hope that if Gyökeres is starting, he sits down with Saliba and Gabriel and says, like, how can I be difficult to defend against? Because they're used to looking after Haaland.
Absolutely. And not always with great success.
So I wonder if like there could be a nice little conversation, little coffee, sat around there at the canteen and have a little chat about that. Because I think he will start Gyökeres, which I'm slightly disappointed by because Jesus was so good and he moves around. He flies about. Even Marino sort of half flies about and then half sits up there. I worry that if Gyökeres is too stagnant there, he's really got to be making run after run after run to move them about, because then you are going to see other United defenders, or even you might have to see Bruno Fernandes drop a little bit back, and that will only help us.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, though, it's just about whether Gyökeres can make those runs in a way that's effectively useful, isn't it? He moves players, but in places they're absolutely comfortable in.
Okay.
You know? It's just, we are essentially just, I think all of the criticism actually of Gyökeres, I think the one thing about his game that if you could tweak it, that would improve the output is the movement, isn't it? It is those runs.
Yeah.
He does run into places that are really comfortable for opposition defenders to mark him. So he has to sort of think a bit differently on that front, I think. And I'd love to see that this weekend if he does play, because, you know, like a goal like that is going to give you so much confidence.
Now, we saw this week that there was a tweet from a Daily Mail reporter.
Yeah, got a lot of traction.
I can't believe I'm ever questioning the Daily Mail to be anything but facts.
It's had over 1 million views, this. So it's
hate watchers.
It probably is. Exclusive. Arsenal have concerns over Kai Havertz's long-term fitness after his knee flared up again in recent weeks. November setback was damaged ligaments in same knee he injured in August. How his body reacts to game time in coming days is key. And people have been sort of freaking out about this a little bit. I think it's the phrase...
My hands up.
Yeah, the phrase flared up. And I've seen people suggesting as well that the kind of worst case scenario of this is that Arsenal feel like they're going to have to manage his knee forever in a sort of Abu Dhabi way, which is obviously quite, alarming and extremely catastrophic. But I think if you look at what it actually says, so it says here that, you know, it's his knee flared up again in recent weeks, but we knew that already because he was on the bench and then he wasn't on the bench. It also says, you know, that other line, November setback was damaged ligaments in same knee he injured in August. We already knew that. So it's kind of like, it's just old news packaged as new drama, and I'm tempted to just not worry about Kai Havertz's knee more than I already was, which was not worrying.
I was worrying. Yeah. I was trying to find out where we can get some horse placenta from and wrap it round. Yeah. I don't know. I suppose I have to
Ricardo Calafiori, presumably, he'll know someone.
No, he's got it all himself. Hopefully, yes, that is a bit of scaremongering, a bit of, what do you call it? Clickbait.
Yeah.
Maybe it's clickbait.
Well, it's done well. 1 million views.
Well, there you go. It sounds
I'm not panicking just yet, because, I mean, he was on the bench against Inter, right? So, I mean, it's funny because this has completely put it out of my head that Havertz might be an option at the weekend as well. And we all want to see that. We saw him against Portsmouth. He looked quite lively. Didn't have long against Chelsea to impact the game, so it's, you know, harder to call on that. But, I mean, he could be a secret
weapon.
He
hasn't come on in the last 2 games at all, has he?
No, he hasn't.
Maybe that's because it's flared up. Oh, I hope that's not correct, but we shall see. Now, Johnny was saying on Monday that he thinks Gyökeres really reminds him of Diego Costa. I'm not sure. Even I said it at the time. I'm not sure if I completely agree. But it was. I don't know if you've seen. There's been interviews recently with Costa where he was talking about Antonio Conte, and he was going, he's always angry. He's always a long face. Probably he doesn't have sex at home because he's a very bitter guy.
That is Such an Italian way to approach that problem, isn't it? It can only be that he's not having enough sex.
Yeah.
Because that is the answer to all of life's problems.
He does look like a man that is sexually frustrated.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't
the
he?
frown. That man has been frowning for a long time.
It's the thinnest hair you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right? But he's not a bald guy. It's just the thinnest, cleanest hair. That he washes that 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Right? That's why he's probably falling out a little bit. But he does look very, very frustrated. And maybe it's a sex thing. With Diego Costa, do you care what he's saying much?
No, he's not someone I pay much attention to be honest. It's interesting to me that Johnny compared Gyökeres to Diego Costa, because a player actually I've been thinking about recently, where I think there might be a little bit of a parallel, is, do you remember when Liverpool signed Dirk Kuyt?
Oh, yes.
From the Netherlands, and he'd scored a lot of goals there, not as many as Gyökeres had in Portugal, and everyone was expecting him to kind of just score loads of goals and bang them in, because we've seen players come from the Netherlands, and some of them, like Ruud van Nistelrooy, they managed to keep up their kind of scoring records. Some of them, like Matthijs Kezman and a few others, couldn't quite do it, and Kuyt was one who kind of fell sort of in between those camps, where he was never prolific for Liverpool, but he kind of enhance the other elements of his game. He made himself a nuisance. He made himself like a very sort of tough physical competitor, and was pretty good at kind of linking play as well. And I don't think Gyökeres has been at that level in terms of linking his play at all yet. But I wonder if like that is ultimately the player we should be expecting from him, if he can kind of up those other elements of his game.
Do you remember Dirk Kuyt? There was a game when we were playing Liverpool, and I think we were 1-0 up, and it was like a 100-minute game. This is pre-VAR, right? And it was like 100 minutes, and Abue fouled him. And it fouled Dirk Kuyt, so then they got a penalty. And I think this was when Kenny Dalglish told Wenger to piss off.
Right, no.
Do you remember that?
I don't have a clear memory
Piss
of
off.
that. Yeah.
Piss off!
I would assume that if Abue was involved, it was a penalty.
No, it was.
Yeah,
it was pathetic and useless. But I remember seeing Wenger complaining. I always remember Kenny Dalglish going, "Piss off!" You can Google that for your own amusement. And the worst thing about playing Man United, Jim, is you have to hear a lot from their ex-players.
Yeah,
and there's some of them are great, right? I don't mind hearing from Gnev. I like listening to the Gnev podcast. Some of them are fine. Some of them aren't fine, right? And some of them are just miserable.
Yeah.
So they're on this podcast called The Good, the Bad and the Football. And is it always Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes?
I think it's them and Paddy McGuinness and the odd guest as well.
And the odd guest.
I think Angry Ginge was on it, and they'll probably have fucking Lad Baby on it. It feels like that.
So it's
that fourth
it's people that know their
chair
stuff.
in the studio is odd so far.
Right, so it's Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes and Paddy McGuinness and another, right? And they've been slagging off Martinez, right? Martinez said that Scholes and Butt should come round to his house and criticise him face to face. Never challenged the butcher. No. But the one that I want to talk about is where they were going. Is Nicky Butt's going, ain't Mikel Arteta. Right, if I saw him at the side a bit, he comes out of his technical area, if I saw it and I was taking a throw on, right, I'd batter him, I'd take him out. And then they're going, yeah, fucking that's great, Nicky Butt. Shut up, Nicky Butt, you fucking idiot.
It's just pub chat, isn't it? It's just full on pub chat, which the whole podcast looks like. And I understand that, if you're doing a podcast, you have to say what you really feel and you have to put your opinions out there. But I just think there's this strange phenomenon with this one in particular where, like, if you criticize a player directly, of course it's going to get back to them. And not only is it going to get back to them, it's going to be put to them while they've got a microphone in front of them. Uh-huh. So they've kind of given a bit back to Martinez for responding. And it's like, but that's always going to happen. It's because of who you are. Like that's unavoidable. And it's just really, really unhelpful, isn't it? And Scholes said about Martinez, we exchanged messages on Instagram quite some time ago because he wasn't happy with something I said. I can't remember what it was, but he said he had lost all respect for me. I sent him my phone number, but I've never heard anything from him. And in that situation, like, he doesn't have to call you. You're like, you haven't won that one. That is very, like, needless to say I had the last laugh. It's so weird. I'm quite hoping that Scholes might come back at me now, and send me his phone number. He might. Yeah. I'd like to hang out with Paul Scholes, and we could. So you reckon you're going to turn that around that quickly? Yeah. Like, you've been slagging me off on a podcast, but let me charm you and let's be friends. Listen, if he's handing out his phone number as soon as you slag him off on a podcast, then I'm all in. But there was another bit where Paddy McGuinness was going, "The thing I don't like is I don't like Arteta's trousers. His trousers are too tight. I don't like. That's the thing he's getting wrong. I don't like Arteta." Shut up, Paddy McGuinness. Again, send me your number. I hate it. A hateful podcast. But listen, have us on. Right, Jim. After the break, your match day superstitions.
Okay, I want to talk about superstitions, right? We were talking all about this kind of thing on Monday's show. And thank you to everyone who sent theirs in and gave us a startling insight into your mind. A few of our favourites from Instagram, @ThingAboutArsenal. This one is from Briggy on the Block. He says he's not allowed to leave the room during the match. Whenever someone's left the room, the opposition have scored within 30 seconds. He also says he has to use the pink straw. The red straw is a Jonah, and the hall light has to be off.
That's a lot there, isn't it? Initially, I thought...
That's 4 things.
He was in prison. I think he probably isn't. But yeah, I mean, that has really grown, that, hasn't it? You can tell there's a collection of superstitions where any single thing has gone wrong and it's out.
Yeah.
It can't be relied upon anymore.
I've got one where I'm not allowed to go. So the Victoria Tavern, I don't know if any of you know North London quite well. The Victoria Tavern, brilliant place to watch away games.
Yes.
Brilliant pizzas, right? But every time I've gone there, Arsenal have lost. I will now not watch a game in there.
The Old Red Lion.
Really? Yes.
We've watched a few games and Arsenal have not won on either occasion.
Is that not just because it's coincided with Arsenal being shit?
But it doesn't feel like that in your head, does it?
Okay,
It
I
feels
can't
like the place
watch a
is
game
cursed.
there at Victoria Tavern.
Yeah, they also repeatedly refused to let in my friend Jack, who is like the most unassuming man you could
Why?
ever. Don't know. It's funny, but they just look at him like, no, not you, mate. It's really weird.
I want to meet that guy.
Yeah.
Right, have you got any other ones?
I do. Find Your Fitness MG has been in touch on Instagram, and he says, if we're at home, I have to sit with my left leg over right leg. Away is the other way round. Now, I looked at his profile. He is a man called Michael Grantham, who is a fitness trainer. So presumably he has the fitness to do that for an entire game. But that's I'm going to be stiff at the end of that.
I
personally.
quite like sitting like that, though.
Yeah? I don't know if the rule is that you can't move your leg. Presumably it is.
I bet it is. I bet you can't move.
Yeah.
That is, and you've got to be careful. I saw a clip the other day where they'd sort of caught this guy. It was at a press conference, it's nothing to do with football, but it was like a big press conference. And he just sits down and puts his left leg over his right leg, but clearly hasn't readjusted where the barracks and the balls are.
Oh, I've seen this.
And he just sort of goes, bah!
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's amazing because we've all been there.
Yes.
Right?
And you would think that would happen more often than it does, doesn't it? But it's all the more surprising when you remember how vulnerable that is.
But when I'm reading this from Find Your Fitness _MG, all I'm thinking is like, careful when you, and also, definitely. I mean, obviously you're never going to go and play away halfway through a home game, but that would be even more of a worry. So do be careful, Find Your Fitness. But I don't mind that one because that sounds quite comfy to me. I've got another one here from Mateusz Kudzarski. I have to play songs by known Arsenal supporters when I drive to the supporters pub.
Well, get on the manor then.
Yes. Get the manor. He probably has got the manor on there.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I like that one.
Who are the famous Arsenal? Obviously, we've got Louis Dunford.
Mick Jagger
is
an Arsenal fan, isn't he? So that gives you quite a lot of scope there.
Yeah. Listen to some Alan Davis stand up.
Yeah, exactly. You could listen to hours and hours
of
many stand-ups.
Yeah. They sort of go hand in hand, stand-ups and Arsenal fans. Okay, have you got any more?
Raf Kanai says, I never wear or touch anything Arsenal related on match day. That's an interesting one, isn't it?
That's interesting to avoid it.
Yeah.
I would have thought just touch everything to make sure.
Yeah, although I guess that kind of, you invite some level of OCD there, don't you? Where it's like, have I touched it enough? Do we need to touch everything?
And if
so
I've missed
maybe touching nothing is safer.
Yes, you're sort of just avoiding things.
Do you have any particular ones? I've kind of jettisoned most of them. I remember once going through my pants drawer thinking I should probably wear red pants because Arsenal are playing, and then thinking this is going to make no difference to the result, and then we won. So
yeah, I mean the thing is I sort of like, I think the main one I've got now is more about opposition or midway through a game. So it's like if Man City are losing 1-0, is don't just start going into the WhatsApp group going, oh, anyone watching the Man City game?
Yeah,
none of that. Like that's definitely a superstition of mine. It's like if you do that, you mess it up.
Yeah, that you can jinx it by just
that is
literally commentating on it, or commenting on it rather.
You just
saying the
silent.
thing that is happening can jinx it.
And you can't put Tottenham and then those little eyes looking to the left. Like you can't. No, you just got to stay silent until the full-time result has happened, because you'll always jinx it.
Yeah.
But that's probably my only one I've got that I currently do. But we've been really enjoying them. So do please keep sending those in.
Yeah, it's nice to get an insight into how weird you all are as well.
Listen, we're all weird. Also, I'm a big cricket fan, and like, there's so many superstitions as a cricket fan, and it's so much like, don't move, whatever you do, your hand was there. So if anyone moves their hand, someone's going to get out. So it is a lot like that, and I like we're bringing that into the football world. Can I go and talk about merchandise now? It's my favourite thing.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, you are you are dripped out again, as we've already established. I think we are going to be able to do thousands of podcasts before you repeat an item of clothing.
But the thing is what I'm hoping is that because I'm going to keep them in rotation, but because I've got so many, you'll never realise.
That's true.
You'll just be like, is that new? And I go, yeah. You
that one's got Stepanovs on the back.
Yeah. Oh, they go further back than that. But I want to talk about the Year of the Horse merch.
I love this.
Which keeps making me think of Horse of the Year show.
Yes. But it might be a collab. They do some weird collabs.
They do weird collabs. You got any ones coming up? You going to do any?
Personally, I'm not. But
Okay.
I mean, NTS Radio did one, which is sort of legendary London radio station, did one recently. And I thought, it could be anything.
There
could be absolutely anything coming next. NTS Radio, and then the Year of the Horse. Dennis the Menace could be next in that
Dennis Bergkamp
sequence.
could work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. There's legs in that. Talking of legs, yesterday the club dropped some new merchandise. It's called the Year of the Horse collection. In the Chinese Zodiac, it's in 2026. It's the Year of the Horse. Now, I do like their Chinese merch.
Yeah.
Because I have got some Chinese merch that I bought, and they only released it for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
and I make
that's
sure,
the
bang,
Adidas way, isn't it?
Got it, right? Now, what's your theory on the merch? Because I love it.
Yeah.
Right? Adidas are brilliant at it. I'm a sucker for it, but it's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm really surprised by is how quickly they seem to have turned around a lot of people's approach to wearing merch. Like, I think as an adult, you feel like I've maybe grown out of that a bit. But some of the stuff they do is genuinely really nice. And the more you see people wearing it about at the stadium, the more you think, oh, actually, that looks pretty good. Oh, maybe I'll just get one of those. And gradually...
So when you see me wearing it, you think, hey...
Yeah, why don't they bring the Puma range back?
I could look as good as that
exactly.
guy.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying to you, Arsenal, is send it to me for free because I will wear it, and then more people will buy it.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with risks, doesn't it? Wearing merch out and about. You might have seen that really famous video. There's a guy just holding his phone, filming the street, and a bloke walks down the road in one of those long...
Is this a Chelsea jacket?
Yeah. And the guy goes, "Oh, mate, who do you support?" And he goes, "Well, Chelsea, obviously." And the guy, he goes from 0 to 60 in a moment. He goes, "Fuck Chelsea!" And it's like the guy is so taken aback by it. And it's rare that you feel sorry for a Chelsea fan, but you can't help it in this situation.
Every time I watch that video, I go,
what is
that
going
bloke
on?
seems all right.
Yeah, that guy seems fine. The guy behind the camera seems like an absolute loose cannon.
Yeah.
So it's risky.
I have got a lot of Arsenal merchandise, right? Most of it I wear on this show, but my favourite one is I've got the Wenger jacket.
Oh, nice.
I've got a really long sleeping bag jacket, right? And it was about 250 quid. I did get it I got it in the sale, and my mother-in-law always gives me Arsenal vouchers for Christmas and birthdays.
Smart.
Okay, so I got the Wenger jacket, and he always got taken the piss out of for the zip.
Yeah.
They are really hard to do up. Now, I don't know whether it's a chicken and egg thing. Do they think that in homage to Wenger, they make the zip really difficult?
Yeah.
But I will often be sitting in really struggling with that zip.
It's a long jacket though, right? So there's a lot of yardage to get through.
And he's always trying to watch the game.
Yeah.
So it's like with that zip, you have got to look down to make sure you have got the right bit in the right bit. But he didn't want to, because he didn't want to miss, Bellerin crossing to Monreal.
Do you think that's why I never saw anything?
Because he was always focusing on the zip.
Yeah, it's got to be the zip.
I blame I blame Nike.
Yes,
for the bad coats.
Yeah.
But no, I have got a Wenger coat that I can't really wear that on the podcast because I'd be very hot.
It's not cold enough, is it?
But
maybe we'll turn the heating off.
I don't think I'm going to get anything from the Year of the Horse collection though. It's not. I don't think it's that special.
No.
It's not like, I don't think it's that individual. I don't think it's I don't know.
I think it looks cool. The horseshoe over the over the logo is quite cool. But yeah, I think it's the volume of it is amazing, and everybody just really, really likes it, and genuinely has had an impact on our kind of commercial revenue,
right?
Which is astonishing, really.
Well, interesting you say that, okay, because Deloitte's Football Money League has revealed this week that Arsenal made the 7th highest revenue in the world in 24-25. And that is ahead of Man United.
That's quite
amazing, which we never thought we'd ever see.
Yeah, although I suppose because they've dropped out of...
they don't play any matches.
Largely have dropped out of football. I guess
the
revenues
are
down.
back. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, I do keep hearing that.
They're back. They're back. So interesting, that's put us above Man United. We're still behind Chelsea, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid. But we really are at the top table now. This is what Wenger had always dreamed of.
I won't be happy till we're 7 points clear of this as well.
When you say 7 points, you mean like just 7 million?
Yeah, like percentage points.
Oh, okay.
However they do that.
However they do it, yeah. No, I don't know. It's going to be hard to crack into the rub. But the thing is with this is Paris Saint-Germain are there, but is that not because of the ownership?
Well, presumably not. But I think this is what happens when you win all the time, isn't it? You get the prize money and the TV money goes up and the Champions League qualification and all that stuff. The Club World Cup will be a factor in that as well.
Oh yeah, and they Paris Saint-Germain have got shops like in London now.
That feels like a tank on the lawn, that doesn't it? I hate that.
So weird.
Yeah.
Every time I walk down Oxford Street, I'm like, why is there a PSG shop?
Yeah, although that said, I mean, last time, the last place I went abroad was Copenhagen, and there were sort of all the sports shops were just very Premier League heavy. So maybe that's critical of us.
Well, even when I was in Japan, there was just an entire Liverpool shop, like the Adidas shop. They made a Liverpool shop.
Wow.
It was horrible. Really daunting as I walked past. But anyway, yeah, we're ahead of that and we're ahead of Tottenham, and that's very important. But looking at, I'm just going to have a little look down the list. West Ham are 20th.
I mean, again, doesn't that show you the power of the Premier League?
That's crazy.
It's absolutely mad, isn't it?
Villa are 14th.
Also, West Ham, I think I'm right in thinking that they don't make very much money from their match day stuff, like the concession stands and things like that, because it's obviously there's a complicated situation with the stadium and they're also miserable.
No one wants to buy anything when you're miserable, do you? That's the trouble with me. It's like I've got a Lucas Torreira shirt at home just because he scored in the North London derby. I was like, well, I better get that on the way home. They always do me with the merch. Listen, Jim, I'm going to take a break now. I'm going to talk about Ethan Nwaneri and his move to Marseille. I love that every week we talk about Ethan Nwaneri.
Yeah.
He's always got his own little section. He's not even playing. And interestingly with Nwaneri is that if he'd not had those minutes last season, we wouldn't even be worrying about it now. He'd just be playing in the under-21s and having a lovely time, and we might get to see him near the first team. But now he's got to have a loan.
Definitely. I can't really remember a player breaking through like this so dramatically and then getting such reduced minutes anywhere, really.
But I think that's an Arteta thing. But if this was Wenger, he'd have persevered, even through the bad performances, where Arteta's very much just
fair, I don't think he's put in bad performances, though.
Yes, that's probably fair, but Arteta is more, he trusts his older players, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I think actually this season, Nwaneri is a victim of circumstance, isn't he? Because this is the most win-now season and the most win-now squad that Arsenal have ever had. Everything has been thrown at getting it done this year. So he just has to be really patient. And I think this is a good move for him, personally. I've got a feeling that we might regret it as fans at some point, because it feels like one or both of Odegaard and Eze will then immediately get injured. But yeah, I mean, again, that is just catastrophizing, isn't it? And I wonder actually if we can take from that he might imagine Havertz in that spot as well. Because we're all thinking about what Havertz might bring back to the team as a striker. Yeah. But he's played in that kind of 9.5 role before as well. And I mean, Havertz is a very sort of technical player who wins a lot of duels, holds the ball up really well. He could be a really good foil for Gyökeres. So maybe that's part of the thinking as well.
I think this is really, really good for Nwaneri. I like that he's not staying in the Premier League. They obviously have searched out that, De Zerbi is very, very well liked within the community of managers. Arteta has always rated him. Even when he was at Brighton, he was really, really big him up. They've probably done all their A license together. Is that what they do? They do their A license.
Something like that. It was him and Rob Edwards. I know.
Him and Rob Edwards do their A license. And I know he likes De Zerbi, likes the way they play. And I believe in the deal that I think there's a fee of like 4 million, which Arsenal get, and it can be reduced if he's played more.
Yeah, so that's ideal, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Yeah, there's a few of these deals.
Why do we not think of that with Serge Gnabry and Tony Pulis at West Brom?
Yeah, we should have done.
Then we'd still have Gnabry. It's a butterfly effect.
Yeah, I mean, he's outrageous sometimes. Some of his recent highlights for Bayern have been excellent. But anyway,
this is brilliant though, isn't it? It's brilliant.
It is.
4 million, and we get less. You play him.
Yeah, completely. And I think it's it's a path well trodden for Arsenal players, isn't it? Sometimes with success, sometimes it ends up that they put themselves in a shop window and they move away. And obviously that's not going to be the case with Nwaneri. But I'm intrigued by this because I do think he'll play a lot.
Yeah.
They are a team that score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And apparently part of the reason that Arteta is so big on De Zerbi is he sees that there are enough parallels with our styles that he thinks players from his system are a good fit. And apparently that was part of the thinking of going after Trossard.
Mm-hmm.
They figured Trossard would fit right in very quickly. And of course, that is exactly what happened. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do, actually.
It's a big move for him, and it's a big move for him sort of personally making that kind of life choice, because initially he wanted to stay this month and be partners. I mean, this, dare I say it, we could win the quadruple. and Nwaneri is choosing to go and play with Aubameyang.
Yeah.
So look, listen, I probably jinxed it now, but it's a big move to come away from what could be probably one of the most historical years in Arsenal's history.
It is. He would still get a medal if we won the league,
yes.
apparently, but it's very different, isn't it? One amazing thing I've found about this is that it's, as an Arsenal fan, you can always catastrophise. You can find the worst case scenario. If we met them in the Champions League, he would be eligible to play because the UEFA rules kind of block you from blocking lone players playing against you.
I'm not worried about that, right? Because Arteta will just look at him during the game, and that'll be enough to throw him off.
Yeah.
Or do the Arteta stare.
Yeah, or if Marseille meet an English club, there's an Arsenal player in their team. So maybe that's the way to look at it as well. Got a little secret weapon in there.
Well, also, right, he said he wanted to go to another country and get regular game time, which he might not have got in the Premier League. I think he probably would have got it.
I agree,
at Bournemouth. I mean, I part of me would have liked to have seen him in the Premier League, just so because we'd have seen him more. I'm not going to go and watch Marseille versus Auxerre. But
yeah, and we don't need to know what he can do in the Premier League because we've seen it and he's scored goals, right?
Yeah.
We know that he's of this level because he's proven it already. So it would have been interesting to sort of watch him week in, week out.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of these loans are about personal development as well, aren't they? They're about, it's easy to forget what an 18-year-old is actually like, isn't it? There's so much to learn about the world and about life and about yourself, and certainly about fitting into a dressing room as well. So I think there'll be an element of that.
And also, like, you look at Saliba, like the recent success of Saliba, where when he kept going on loan and he was sort of kicking off, he was a very young guy, but I don't know about you, but I was sitting there going, what are they doing?
Yeah.
We're getting rid of this absolute
Because
gem.
it felt like we were going to lose him, didn't it? Yeah.
And I wonder whether maybe we were quite close to losing him. I think circumstance will work very well. He managed to get starting in that season that he came in and was fantastic. And then maybe those are sliding doors moments. Now, listen, they discussed the on-pitch situation at Marseille on one of our sister shows here at Stack on the continent. So here's European football journalist Andy Brassel giving his expertise.
I mean, we know he's not going to play right-sided forward because Mason Greenwood's got that locked up. And so that says to you that Nwaneri is going to develop in more of a midfield role. Now, if you look at him as a potential rival to or cover for Martin Odegaard in seasons to come, maybe that's a good thing. I think the other thing is looking at how Roberto De Zerbi is going to see him. That's the important thing, because De Zerbi throughout this season has said, and he's not one of those coaches who moans about his lot that much. He's been pleased generally, but he's always said throughout this season, what I'm really missing is a number 10. I really want a number 10. So that to me says that Nwaneri is going to play in this spot. And if I was him, I'd be very excited by that.
Wow. The main thing I take away from that is he's put me to shame of how to say De Zerbi.
Yeah, we don't want to follow Andy Brassel down that road. He's a European football journalist. He's got to be very flexible on those pronunciations. Yeah, it is exciting though, isn't it? That it sounds like there's a spot waiting for him, which is great.
I think it's really good. I do hope that he doesn't spend too much time with Aubameyang, because Aubameyang once did an Instagram post during COVID where he was sitting in the front of his Ferrari and saying Sunday Life. And he was not in the front seat, because Ferraris, I didn't know this, but the bonnet opens and that's like the boot.
Right.
But he was just sat in the front of it with his bejeweled trainers going Sunday living or something like that. And I was just like,
using my Ferrari as a seat.
I was like, you are not reading the room right here. Yeah. Interestingly, it's 8 years to the day since the Aubameyang transfer was leaked by accident, right? Someone on X, at MAA_Gunner, reminded us that yesterday was 8 years since Arsenal accidentally leaked that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang had signed for us a week before the deal had been announced.
That was a long week, wasn't it? Worrying that it was going to be undone.
But yeah, exactly. But what they did is they uploaded this behind-the-scenes video of Mkhitaryan, right? Who interestingly was on the bench for Internazionale.
Yes.
But they'd left in this bit where like Mkhitaryan had said "Yo Pierre," which was I remember then they did this whole thing, "Yo Pierre, come over here."
Yeah.
Which I loved at the time, but now I think is rather cringe. But they'd left it in, and then the official Arsenal account replied to the post about the leak saying, "Oh, for fuck's sake," before deleting the video.
Just delete it. Just delete it. That makes it so much worse.
I can't believe they went, "Oh, for fuck's sake, send."
I can imagine, exactly. I can imagine saying it out loud.
Yeah.
But typing it out and sending it.
I love it. I love it when you, because clearly people that run those Twitter accounts, they've also got other accounts. Because I remember seeing the Everton account tweeting something like, out with Rachel and the girls today or something like that. And then seeing it deleted immediately.
Yeah. I think Elon's really funny, actually.
Yeah, exactly. 4 more years. We had some great signings in January. Aubameyang was that. Yes, it was a fun week.
That was really exciting, wasn't it? At the time, I couldn't believe that we managed to convince him to sign. And I know the way he left was kind of a bit sad, but he really dragged us through some worrying times.
When you see how lethal he was.
He's got a lot of goals for us.
He's got a lot of goals, and you wonder in a side, we've been struggling talking about Gyökeres, and I'm not going to bash him again, but it's like when you look at Aubameyang's goal record, you'd think, oh, God, he'd have scored a lot of goals in this team.
Absolutely. If he was a bit younger. He's still going as well, still scoring a decent amount of goals at 36. Fair play to him.
He's 36 now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be Nwaneri assist, Aubameyang goal. Who'd have thought? Right, Jim, we're nearly at the end here, but I just wanted to remind everyone, if you want to get in touch, at Thing About Arsenal on Instagram and at About Arsenal Pod on X, or you can email us, show@thingaboutarsenal.com. And remember, we want to hear from you with your Rate My Seat, right? Okay, well, this is a feature that we do where you send us a picture of wherever you're watching the game this weekend with a short description, and we brutally rate it. Okay, it could be at home, in your front room, down the local pub, or somewhere completely new. We got a brilliant one this week from someone at the San Siro.
Yeah.
Which immediately wins.
Especially because I think it was in the home end, which is, that's like 1 million out of 100, really.
And also, Laura, on the when you guys were doing the post-match reaction, the instant reaction pod, Laura was saying she'd quite like to go to the San Siro. I want to go to the San Siro. I don't know, Laura, if you when you're listening, maybe we'll go together, or maybe I just might do a solo trip.
I think Laura's mum talked about it. So maybe we can get Laura's mum to
Laura's mum and Laura.
I'll
you want to come?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. There's 4 of us. We're going to go to the San Siro. I don't mind seeing a home game.
No.
Happy days. Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Thing About Arsenal. Laura and Johnny are back on Sunday for post-match reaction to the Manchester United game. And more importantly of all, hit subscribe wherever you're watching and listening. Jim, bye-bye.
Bye.